It was a cool Wednesday morning at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Apostle Joshua Selman, the visionary behind Koinonia Global, stood quietly in the VIP lounge, awaiting his flight to Johannesburg, South Africa. He had been invited to speak at a prestigious global church conferencia convergence of pastors, intercessors, and revivalists. The message he carried burned within him: revival and godly leadership in these last days. Clothed in a modest yet classy navy blue suit, he looked calm and thoughtful. He didn't seek attention, yet his presence exuded quiet authority, serene, commanding, spiritually deep. While seated and engrossed in his Bible, meditating in silence, the mood in the lounge subtly changed. A team of military officers entered, surrounding a tall man dressed in combat uniform, Captain IBRAHIM TRAORE, the youthful and dynamic interim president of Burkina Faso. Their eyes met for a brief moment. Then, with deliberate steps, Captain Traore began to approach. One of his aides leaned over and whispered, "Sir, that's Apostle Joshua Selman, the Nigerian preacher you once watched on YouTube." The captain gave a soft nod. "Yes," he responded quietly. "I recognize him." As he came closer, Apostle Joshua Selman stood up and extended a hand. "Good morning, sir." "Blessings to you, sir," the apostle replied warmly. "I can't believe this," the captain said with a smile. "I was just telling my team how deeply your teachings on leadership and kingdom principles have impacted me." There was a pause filled with mutual respect and unspoken understanding. "I'm headed to South Africa for a ministry engagement," Apostle Selman said. "And I'm on my way back to Ouagadougou after a short meeting with ECOWAS officials," Captain Traore replied. Then he added, lowering his voice slightly, "But perhaps this meeting wasn't random." The two men were soon guided to a quieter section of the lounge. There, over bottled water and beneath the hum of airport announcements, they began to speak from the heart. "I need your prayers, Apostle," Traore said earnestly. "This weight of leadership is heavy. I'm young, and this role came unexpectedly. Forces both visible and spiritual contending over the destiny of Burkina Faso. I need clarity. I need divine help."
An open letter to Donald J. Trump, from the heart of a continent you misunderstand. Mr. Trump, I do not write this letter from an office wrapped in marble, nor from a conference room humming with air conditioning and advisors. I write it from Burkina Faso, from the red clay and sunburnt roads, where real lives are lived without pretense, and where history is not debated in think tanks, but felt in the bones of our elders and the bellies of our children. You may never walk through our markets. You may never sit beneath the neem trees where men speak truth quietly, or hear the songs of women harvesting hope in the midst of hardship. But let me tell you this clearly. We are not silent, and we are not blind. We heard you. We remember when you labeled African nations shithole countries. You did not whisper it. You said it in a room of power, with the careless confidence of someone who thought the world beneath him could not answer back. But we heard you, and not just with our ears, we heard you in our history books, in our struggles, in the tired but steady rhythm of people who have long known what it feels like to be spoken about but not spoken to. You see, Africa is used to being misunderstood. Our names have been mispronounced, our stories erased, our voices interrupted. But do not confuse patience with acceptance. We have always listened, watched, and learned, and now we speak. You say you stand for the forgotten American, for the man who lost his factory job and wants someone to blame. But your version of forgotten is curated. You didn't build your movement on lifting the poor. You built it on directing their anger. Immigrants became scapegoats. People of color became soundbites. And the continent I call home, you reduced it to a punchline. But Africa does not live in your soundbites. Africa breathes beyond your headlines. We are not what you think we are. We are not barren lands needing rescue, nor chaotic states deserving ridicule. We are not beneath you. We are beyond your understanding for now. You see only the poverty, but you miss the resilience. You point at corruption, but ignore its global enablers. You fear our migrants, but forget who drew the borders that left us scattered and scarred. You speak of sovereignty, a word we've bled for while your companies dig up our minerals and your soldiers shape our wars. Do you know what sovereignty looks like here? It is a farmer defying drought with ancestral knowledge. It is a student who walks miles for an education built in their mother tongue. It is a mother who raises a family on strength alone. It is leadership rooted not in image, but in endurance. So no, Mr. Trump, we are not your shithole countries. We are the descendants of kingdoms older than the American flag. We are the future's architects. And while your words may have tried to shrink us, our dignity does not bend. Let's talk, then, not about pity, but about respect. Respect is not aid packages delivered with condescension. It is fair trade, not exploitation. It is investment without interference. It is listening not only when it suits your interests, but especially when it challenges them. You build towers that scrape the sky. We build societies that endured centuries. You campaign on restoring greatness. We are busy creating our own. You sell nostalgia for a past that served the few. We are writing a future that includes the many. And make no mistake, the old dynamics are dying. Young Africans are rising not just in number, but in voice, in skill, in ambition. We are not waiting for the next G7 invitation to feel relevant. We are connecting with each other, building within, and dreaming beyond the limitations imposed upon us. What the world once called weakness is becoming our greatest strength. Community, resourcefulness, spirit. We do not seek to replicate the systems that failed others. We aim to build our own, and to do it better. So I ask you, as one leader to another, can you rise to the moment? Can you look beyond applause lines and polling data and see the cost of rhetoric that dehumanizes entire peoples? Can you lead with vision, not vanity, with understanding, not arrogance? Because the world is shifting. And leadership today is not about who shouts the loudest. It is about who listens longest. It is not about posturing for cameras. It is about standing for truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable. You may never step foot in Burkina Faso, but your influence already has. The policies of your administration echoed through our health systems, our economies, our borders. Your words shape minds for better or worse. And when the powerful speak, the world does not simply react. It remembers. This letter is not a plea. It is a statement. Africa does not require saving. We require seeing. We demand dignity. Not someday, not hypothetically, but now. And if you cannot offer that, if your return to power comes with more division, more disdain, more distraction, then understand this. We are no longer standing by. We are standing up. Mr. Trump, history has many eyes, but Africa has many feet. And we are walking forward, with or without you. Captain IBRAHIM TRAORE, President of the Transition, Burkina Faso.